Big red alert. Russia is moving its nukes. At the same time, Nigeria is kicking out the US base and bringing Russians troops in. So at one point, we have the Russian and the US military facing off on the same base in Nigeria. At the same time, Japan is dumping its dollars to boost its own economy because of what's going on in the world. And guess what? America, the Fed, is extremely mad at Japan because they want Japan to ask America if it's okay for them to save their own ass. Things are getting really, really crazy. People are not talking about it. I don't know what else can happen. You got a guy loading his bullets and the TV saying, well, he's not going to shoot. He's not going to shoot. He's not going to shoot. Well, we pushing the bear. We pushed Russia. America-led NATO has pushed Russia all the way to where they're loading the nukes into the stations where they're ready to attack. They're doing a nuclear drill test with live ammunition, with live nukes. I don't know how much more closer can it get. The world is literally coming apart. The US dollar is getting hammered. There are allies like Japan are letting go of the US treasuries and dumping it to save their own butt. You're having allies all over the world, for example, like Turkey, sanctioning Israel and not allowing any more stuff to go in. So the hinges are literally coming off the wheel. And if you're listening to the news, they're talking about the sports, they're talking about ex-presidents, they're talking about all this stuff that has nothing to do with what's really happening. We're pushing the bear. We've crossed many red lines with Russia. And now, guys, they're loading their weapons in and they're locking and ready to go. There is not that much more warnings to be said. If you look at the stock market, nothing is happening. If you look at Bitcoin, nothing is happening. Everyone's just buying and buying and buying. Literally, when the countries are going to nuclear war. I can't express this, okay? At the same time, you have Israel going to the last camp that's available for the Palestinians, and they're, committing genocide once again. So the world is not looking very, very pretty. If you listen to the American news, they're making it seem like nothing is happening. Everything is all good. Where we're really seeing the axis of happening, where you're having China, you're having Russia, you're having Iran, you're seeing the allies and the resistance lining up. It's as clear as mud, guys. It's clear as mud. And I don't know if you can't see it, what is going on, because it's right there. Okay. Things are getting really, really jacked up. Now let's talk about the US inflation. Inflation, in my opinion, is just coming. We're going to have hyperinflation. Prices of things are going to go a lot higher. We are going to see massive layoffs. We are going to see massive fire sales in real estate. Now, I believe in real estate, we've had already a crash. It was an inverse crash back in the pandemic when they built out everyone. They give out free money. They closed down the foreclosure courts, etc. So we're having an inverse collapse happening in the real estate sector. Now, let me tell you some true stories, okay? The other day, my neighbor, I went outside, and he's an older gentleman, and his moped wouldn't start. So I tried to help him out a little bit, and he needed a new battery. And the battery was like about $120 plus labor to install it. And he's like, man, I don't have this money, okay? Again, he's an ex-military. He's on a fixed income, but inflation is just like literally eating him up. So I thought about how can I help him out? So I came up with a creative way where I told him, hey, we can go to Walmart and buy a battery tenderizer. We'll charge up your battery, and this thing is only going to cost $20. He said, man, Mike, I don't have $20 right now. I got to wait to like a couple of weeks from now until I get my check. He doesn't work. He's like 80-something, 87 years old, ex-military. And I was just scratching my head because you have a gentleman in his late 80s, ex-vet, and he doesn't even have, actually it was less than $20. It was $16.87. So like less than $18. The gentleman didn't even have $18 in his banking account to buy a battery tenderizer for his bike. So he had to wait a couple of weeks to do that. So I just told him, Tim, don't worry about it, man. I'll go ahead and pay for it out of my own pocket. I know you don't have a car. I'll cycle to Walmart and get that for you. He couldn't believe it. He was like, you really going to drive out there and get this thing for me? I'm like, yeah, man, don't worry about it. He's like, I can't pay for a couple of weeks. I said, you know what? Just keep it as a gift, dude, okay? And what really troubled me, what really bothered me is that there are so many Americans that are in their retirement age that are really paying the consequences of Big Brother's endless wars. These guys worked their butts off. They went to the military. They had a job, whatever, right? They did their thing. It's time for them to retire. But because of inflation, because of hyperinflation, they can't live, dude. They literally can't live. The guy doesn't have $20, $16, dude. Okay, and he's a 87-year-old veteran. Doesn't have any more money because inflation. The food cost of a watermelon is $9. I used to buy eggs, and it was like $2 or $3 for organic. The same eggs I still buy is $10, $9, $8. Okay, depends where you go. So imagine if you're an older person, you work all your life, you have a saving nest, or you're in a set income for your retirement, and price of watermelon's gone up 5 times. The price of eggs going up 3 times. Well, things are going to be hard on you. It's going to be so hard where you don't even have $20 left over for an idea. So anyways, I went to Walmart. I bought the guy the tenderizer. It was $20 and a little bit less than $20. I came back. I helped him install the battery, hooked it up for him, because the guy couldn't even afford the tow trucker to pick his motorcycle up. He couldn't afford, the labor for the mechanic, and he couldn't even afford a battery. So I bought him this charger. I helped him install it, and then in 24 hours, his battery was all charged up and it was working. He was so happy that I was able to come up with a creative way to solve this problem, and then pay for it and fund it and go get it for him, because he didn't even have a car. He had to take the bus. He didn't have any money. He's going to take a week or 2 weeks before he can get paid, before he can buy stuff. And I just thought to myself, what is the status of our economy? So anyways, I help my neighbor out, Tim. I get him this stuff. I move on. And then I go to the grocery store to buy some groceries. So I'm checking out. And what I notice is the lady that's checking me out is this lady as old as my grandmother, if my grandmother was still alive, right? She's very, 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 very old, right? And she's having a difficult time remembering the numbers, the codes to the fruits, and it's taking her a long time to check out. And then I look over, the baggy guy that's bagging it is as old as my grandfather. And this one really dawned on me. First was my neighbor that couldn't afford $20 to buy a battery. Then I go to the grocery store, and the cashier is old as my grandmother, and the bagger is as old as my grandfather. And I really realized the status of our economy, that is going to doom, is going to shit, where the older people, the people that were retired, have to come back to work, to a stupid job, right, just to buy food, because inflation's eating their retirement up. Inflation's eating their fixed income up that they get from Uncle Sam. And it really helped me realize the status of our economy. It helped me realize why Big Brother, I'm not a fan of Big Brother. They're destroying the American life. They're destroying the American middle class. They're destroying the working class. All for endless wars. All for Lockheed Martin. All for the corporations of death. And it just blows me away that, the working class American can't even have 20 fucking bucks, but they got $20 billion to give to Israel. They got $14 billion to give to Ukraine. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? The guy next door over, I'm subsidizing his life so you can make it, right? But Big Brother's giving subsidization to Israel, one of the richest nations in the world. In Israel, they got fucking free healthcare. They have fucking retirement. We're paying for their fucking retirement. We're paying for their missiles. Get their asses to work, man. You know what I'm saying? Have them work 5 jobs a day, right? Like the Americans do. Have them have 3 fucking jobs like the Americans do. Why should we bail them out for them to go slaughter innocent people? It doesn't make any fucking sense. This is why I came to the conclusion that the world leaders are aliens. They're not humans. And in return, they're enslaving the humans by working them 7 days a week, by sending them to the grind machine to get killed, because they're not humans. They're literally, they're not. And I've studied old history, okay? the Anunnaki Samaritan tablets. And I'm very, very confident now that the rulers of the world are not humans. Literally, they're trying to kill us by suffocating us one way or another. If it's through work, if it's through slaughter, whatever the story is, they're not humans. They're aliens, and they're sucking something out of us. If it's our life energy, if it's our emotion, if it's the earth natural resources like water, oxygen, gold, whatever it is, I don't know. I don't say I have all the answers, but it doesn't make sense for America to be pushing the bear for them to nuke us. It doesn't make sense. No human would want that. Only an alien that doesn't give a shit about his slaves would want that. And that's my conclusion. My conclusion is that they don't give a shit about you and me. We're just slaves. We're just numbers. They want to slaughter us. They want us to work every fucking day. They want us to buy the 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. They just want us to be a slave. Just buy, consume, work your ass off while we kill the human race. Guys, if you like this video, click the like button. Always remember, you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and twice as beautiful as you imagine. Roll me. Peace.